boy, it's a little NASCAR action. I got my boys Keg and Coop here. We're going to break down what's going on in Dover today. We got free articles, we got premium articles, we got bets, we got premium subscriptions. Lots going on. Let's start with my boy Keg, who I hear had a pretty damn good NFL draft. Has a little add-on if you want to tell him. Him and Cooper are going to be doing some live betting today. Talk to me, Kegger. What's going on, pal?
It's been a couple frustrating weeks for me, my friend. We've been winning, but I mean the 70-1 shot that we gave out last week was leading the final lap of the race, and he crashed in the end. That cost me like $40K. And the week before that, on the last lap, a car gets taken out. But I mean, Coop and I are still managing to do well. But man, what could have been the last couple of weeks is just crazy.
Rough stuff, but it's good. I mean, you're still winning.
Yeah, we're still winning. We hit Ross Chastain last week at 16-1 on the live show.
I mean, that's not a bad hit, is it?
No, it's all right.
It's fine.
When you do that every week, you want that 70-1 banger. You know what I mean?
It'll happen. You'll be fine. I trust you. Talk to me here, Coop. What's going on with you? How are things going in your world?
Oh, we're doing well. Just getting ready for some action this afternoon. Should be a interesting race.
All right. Thanks for the big breakdown there, Coop. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
If you want more info on how Keg does his live show with Coop and how they are going to hit a 70-1 today, Kegger, how do they add it on, pal?
Everybody, first of all, encourage everybody to sign up to Run Pure Bets. Use the promo code BETS25 off. It'll get you 25% off the first week or month. And, everybody's doing really well. Joey is just on another level right now with baseball. Spread and Tyler are doing the NBA playoffs. JJ's rolling along in baseball, plus the tennis. So everything's going really well. And we have the live betting show package. It's an extra $10 a week. Mm-hmm. If you have the time to live bet, we do anywhere between about 20 hours of content a week live. And it's been extremely profitable since we started.
Beautiful to hear, boys. Coop, I'm going to throw a little knowledge out at you. This is what I'm hearing. It's going to be tough to pass today. Is that true? Or is that a false narrative?
That would be true. Every single driver talked about it yesterday.
Hand off.
Yeah.
What's up, pal? Talk to me. Give me a nice broad overview of what we're going to see today.
So Dover's a mile concrete oval track. It's unique to the other tracks on the circuit. The biggest difference here is you are in the turn more than you're on the straightaway at this race. So the straightaways are short, the turns are large. And it's not a track that, we can take any type of information from the prior races this year with this new car to put into this and see how it works. So that'll be interesting. It's high bank. So, we could see some tire issues. Typically there's not a lot of attrition here, but there's a setup to where we could have a big wreck if it happens in the right place because the straightaways are short. They're also tight. And, if it happens at the right place in the straightaway, it's hard to, manage and maneuver around the other cars. So, it's not uncommon to see a pile up here, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Typically in the past, this race has been dominated by the HMS team. And, I don't think we're going to see anything different today, even with the new car. So, it's probably going to be a chalky slate and one that people will try to get different. I'm all for getting different. But I think this is a race that you eat the chalk and move on. And if you chop lineups with others, be happy that you're chopping and you're getting some green versus not getting any green at all. So, just how qualifying played out, the nature of the race, it's going to be a chalk fest for sure.
All right, talk to me here, Kegger. I want your broad overall views of this as well. Talk to us.
Yeah, I agree pretty much with everything that Coop said. There is no track we can compare this track to in this new car. I think that the closest tracks are probably Bristol and Darlington, but it doesn't really matter because they haven't been to those tracks yet in the new car. So I agree with Coop there. And I also agree with Coop that Hendrick Motorsports could very well finish 1, 2, 3, 4 today. And I say that even though Will Byron is starting like 33rd or something like that, because you can get to the front with strategy. You can go from 30th to the top 5. And if he gets up there, they clearly look like they have the best 4 cars, or at least the best 3 cars. And then the other thing is that the other drivers that are historically good at this track, they just don't have the speed. Like, I went into this week thinking maybe this is the week that Martin Truex Jr. has a shot to win a race, and he just doesn't have the speed. I don't think that Gibbs is going to be able to compete today. I think it's Hendrick Motorsports, or I think Ryan Blaney is going to be fast today. And I think Roush is going to be fast today. And I think whatever team Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez are, I forget the name, but Coop knows, I think they're going to be fast today. But I have a hard time seeing anybody beating Hendrick.
Kushner, are you a Pitbull fan?
Pitbull, like the music guy?
Yeah, Kushner, are you a Pitbull fan?
Like the music or the dog?
Yeah, the music, man.
I like the dog. They're great dogs unless they're shitty owners. Nah, I'm not a Pitbull guy. He's a nice guy and he's got his shit together.
I'll be honest. I'm not a particular fan. I'm not a particular fan of Mr. Worldwide or whatever he's called.
Does he own the car or something?
Yeah, he's a part owner, and his face will be on that car today, man. It's actually a pretty hot looking car, man. They're promoting his worldwide tour with somebody else.
Very interesting. That's wonderful to hear, Coop. Glad you added that. Brought a lot to the broadcast. And can you talk to us about the potential dominators today?
I mean, it's pretty hard to go away from Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, and those are the 3 main ones. If you're playing anybody else to dominate, you're looking for one of those 3 drivers to have some issues. I think that, Blaney has a small outside chance, maybe a Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, possibly Ross Chastain, who's been fast all year, and then Byron. But after those, I think it's going to take something different to happen to Elliott, Larson, or Bowman to be a dominator. Buescher's starting on the pole. Hamlin's on the outside. Hamlin's not a concern to me. I think it was the 15 lap speed yesterday. 18 cars ran 15 laps consecutively. He had the worst time. He just happened to put down a good time during qualifying. So I think, in the long run, he'll drop off eventually. Buescher, I can see being like Brandon Jones yesterday in the Xfinity race where, he's got a good, strong car for 15 to 25 laps, but then he kind of falls off. If you're playing Buescher, you're hoping that he gets those lead laps, and you're hoping that somehow he can be faster than the Hendrick cars behind him and he gets fastest laps on top of that, which, could or could not happen. But I think, on the long run, you're hoping for him to finish top 7 and get those points, which, he has a fast car. It could happen. As Holden mentioned earlier, this is a very difficult track to pass on. It typically has the most top 10 finishes where drivers start in the top 10 of any other track out there. But There's just something that Hendrick knows about this track and how to set up the car when it comes to this track. I believe it has to do with Jack and Mouse because, I mean, they've been dominating since, Jeff Gordon was around, since Jimmy Johnson was around. It's nothing new for them to come here and dominate. I do think Elliott has the chance to lead early. He'll be starting on the outside. The outside tended to be a little bit better than the inside yesterday, although we did see some drivers, start on the inside and were able to get the lead. So, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. But those three are the ones that you're going to have to come up with. I think Elliott and Larson will be really high owned. Bowman, not as much, but he'll still get his fair share. We didn't see much of Alex Bowman yesterday. That's because Byron, took out his car early in practice, and his pit crew chief come on and said, look, he's taking the only backup car we have. We need to be cautious. So, to show you how much confidence he has in his car, he drove around and practiced, and he practiced how to get into on pit stops, because getting onto the pit lane is not the easiest here either. So we typically see a large amount of speeding penalties here. It's a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. You're coming off the high bank. You got to get it stopped, and you got to wheel that thing, around at a very slow rate. So expect to see some speeding penalties today, and pit road be a piece of it. No, I think if you're not playing Larson, Elliott, Bowman, you're hoping that they have some issues, whether it be with the car or on pit road. Because
I have a question, Coop, for you in terms of the dominators. Do you have to play 2 Hendrick cars today?
You don't have to, but if you do, you're either hoping that, one of them's not as good and like a Busch or a Blaney or somebody else comes up and overtakes one, or you're hoping for one of the Hendrick cars just to completely dominate, the entire race.
Right.
I myself personally, I think it would be a better option to play 3 Hendrick dominators than to try to play, one Hendrick dominator with another non-dominator or one by themselves.
Got it.
Okay. Well, I want to go to you on this one then, Kegger, because you just brought up Elliott, Larson, Bowman. Elliott's 9-1, Larson's 4-1, Bowman's 10-1. And then you move to that second tier. We'll be talking about place differential drivers with Coop in a second, but Byron 9-1, Dillon 50-1, Briscoe 20-1, Keselowski 40-1. 7 guys I just named off to you: Elliott, Larson, Bowman, Byron, Dillon, Briscoe, Keselowski. Which one of those would be your favorite to put money on pre-race?
Probably Will Byron, because he's a Hendrick car. I think, like right now on DraftKings, Kyle Larson's 4.5-1, Elliott 6-1, and Bowman 9-1. If I'm being honest, I think I like Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman more than Kyle Larson. But I mean, he could easily go out and just dominate this race. So here's what I think. There's a weekly special on DraftKings. All Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott to finish in the top 5. Last year they ran 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 7-1 for all 3 of them to hit the top 5. That's not bad considering how they dominate this track. So I'm probably going to throw a little bit of money on that, because I think I think all 3 of them are going to be in the top 5. And I think Will Byron's got a shot to be in the top 5. So I'll probably have a little money on that. And I haven't decided yet how I'm going to bet this race. If I'm going to take 2 out of the 3 Hendrick cars, and if I have to get on the 3rd live, I'll do it. I haven't decided yet, but the majority of my investment today is going to be surrounded by those 3 Hendrick cars for sure.
All right.
Hey, Holden, just for your information, and then also for the people who are watching, basically on Tuesday, I start with the playbook and I put down, the drivers. and I put down the odds, and the odds that I have on the playbook are from the odds that are opening. All right. And I leave it at the opening odds strictly so I can see, what has changed throughout the week. You mentioned Byron at 9-1. Byron you can get now at 16-1. So, it's a tasty little bet that, I might dabble in.
Definitely.
Good to see. Good to hear. Hit the like button. We're at 18. We got 75 watching. I know it's a busy morning. I just had to get my NBA lineups in. We got Major League Baseball lineups, but we got the NASCAR. It's been extraordinarily profitable. Like button would be great. We would appreciate that. Good morning, Tyler. Good morning, everybody in the chat. Good to see you guys up and early. Let's talk about those place differential drivers here. I know you got 4 of them on the playbook, Coop.
So, we had an interesting conversation this morning in Discord about William Byron. People want to get different. People want to take the chance at fading Byron. I get it. You want to do it. More power to you. But I think, he's starting 33rd. In order to pay off his salary, he needs to finish 11th. All right. He's finished in the top 10 here, 3 out of his last 5 races. He has great information from his teammates. He had some bad luck. Where he spun in practice really early. So, on top of that, he offers even more upside because the reality is he could, finish top 5, which will give you more points for your buck. And then also he could, get some dominator points on top of that, if all things work out right for him. So, in my opinion, minus the 2 dominators, maybe a Larson, Elliott, or Bowman, he has by far the most upside on the slate. The big downside is, he has to come through a lot of traffic. He has to avoid, potential accidents and things of that nature. So, that's the downside. We've talked about how hard passing is here. Yes, passing is hard, but it helps when you have a car as fast as his. And, he's not going to, scream up to the top 15. It's going to take him some time. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't take him till like sometime in stage 2 to get up to the top 10. But barring any issues, he's going to get there. All right. Because if he wouldn't have had the accident, he would be qualified in the top 6 with his other teammates. So, you want to fade him. You're just taking a lot of risk. I don't see another driver out there minus the dominator drivers who have anywhere near the upside of what a William Byron has. To be honest with you, if you're looking at your pure points, I think he could finish 15th and he might have the most points other than the dominators. So, we'll just have to wait and see how it shakes out. As far as the other ones go, Austin Dillon, Keselowski, and Briscoe, I think I like Keselowski the most out of them. His teammates on the front row, he didn't run a lot in practice, so really don't know how fast that car could be. I think a lot of people are going to lay off of him because, he struggled here and there recently. He wasn't as good last week as what, many of us, including myself, had hoped. So I think I'm willing to take some chances on him. And then Austin Dillon and Briscoe will also be sprinkled in there too. But, I can see both of them finishing, top 15, maybe, a little bit better. So I don't know if they have top 10 cars or not.
Okay. Hey, Keg, I know it's betting. It's a little bit different here. Truex, Harvick, Suarez, Cindric, Busch, Bell. Anyone you'd like to discuss out of those 6 drivers, maybe that could make some noise?
Now turn your mic on, buddy.
Yeah.
I do it every fucking time. But yeah. Kevin Harvick out of that group, Kevin Harvick for sure. He looked really good in practice, and historically he's an animal on this track. So out of the group that you mentioned, yeah, I think he clearly has probably the best chance to win the race.
Okay, let's move on to our next one. Thumbs up, by the way. Little like button here for the boys. Doing some NASCAR for you on the weekend. Before we do that, Keg, make sure you're unmuted and tell us about the add-on which is extraordinarily profitable. Like I said, maybe I'm 60, maybe I'm 70. Whenever I'm unemployed or retired, I will be watching the NASCAR show because I know that that will take care of my retirement.
Yeah, we took it on the chin yesterday, right? But like we went 0 for 4 yesterday with our NASCAR Xfinity drivers that we had bet. But in order to hit those 25 to 1 shots, you're going to have weeks where you go 0 for 4. So we got it yesterday, you know, but we're aiming to come back today strong. For $10 a week, you get 20 hours basically of live betting content. And on Sundays, the last 6 weeks, Coop and I are up almost 100 units in NASCAR. So it's crazy, man. I mean, honestly, the ROI is bonkers, and that's all I have to say.
The ROI is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. It's true.
Return on investment, Holden, in case you're wondering what that means.
Oh, I just wanted to repeat what he said. I don't know what the fuck it means.
Okay.
Return on investment. Running on insulin. Let's go to your value town, baby. Did you come up with value town, or is that a NASCAR thing, a NASCAR DFS thing, or did Cooper go like, let's go to value town?
No, we came up with it when we designed the playbook.
Yeah. Okay. Let's hear it. Value town.
Do you want to go to the middle tier first, or you want to go to the?
We didn't do middle tier.
No, sir, we didn't.
Oh, I only went to Keg on the middle tier. That's what it was. I said, Kegger, who do you like? All right, so you go through your 6 guys in the middle tier and then do a seamless transition to the value town. That would be cool.
That's a lot of talking. You know, we got Truex starting here in 18th spot. And, you know, he's got a decent salary, but I think he's going to command some ownership. I'm a little bit higher on Truex than what maybe Keg might be. You know, I don't know if he has a winning car, but I think, you know, if all things work out right, he could have a top 5 car, definitely a top 10 car. I just don't know if top 10's enough to, you know, pay off. And I think with how roster construction is working, you know, he's not going to be highly owned. So, you know, he could be a solid GPP pivot in there, especially if you feel he can get some dominator points. I like Kevin Harvick personally, as Keg said. I listened to Harvick yesterday, and he was probably the only driver who mentioned that he was happy with his car in race trim, where, you know, most of them preferred the car in qualifying trim. So obviously race trim is important because that's what they're going to run. And, you know, as Keg said, he has a good history here. He's been faster than what he has been last year, this year. So, you know, I don't mind Harvick. Again, I don't think he's going to get a lot of ownership because he's starting next to Kyle Busch, which, you know, he's a little bit cheaper. So Kyle's going to take that ownership. And I think, you know, what Harvick said goes a long way. After that, you know, we have Bell, Kurt Busch, Austin Hendrick, and there's one other driver in there. I can't think of off the top of my head. But the 4 of them, I could see going either way. I think they could go, you know, positively or negatively. Hendrick was pretty strong yesterday in practice. And again, his comments were extremely positive. You know, he talked about love being here. He loves this track. He did well here in Xfinity. So, you know, that's a good thing. We have Chris Bell, who I think could be the low-owned donkey play of this slate. You know, 8-1 is going to keep people away. Where roster construction is, he's in that spot where he could go either way, positively or negatively from place differential. He hasn't done well here in Cup. He did extremely well here in Xfinity. He's had a fast car this year. He's just had some issues. When Chris Bell has qualified well, he hasn't done good. When Chris Bell hasn't qualified well, he's done good. So kind of figure that out. I don't mind him as a low-owned GPP play too. Kurt Busch the same way. And then that driver who remains nameless, I can't think of who it is that starts right around there, is the same.
Okay. So we're all done with Value Town too, right? We're not playing.
No. Haven't even hit Value Town yet.
I mean, that's what I want to hear is Value Town.
Go to Kegger for a minute. Give me a break.
What do you want Kegger to talk about? He doesn't have any of these scrubs betting. That's why I set him up earlier on the last one. You got any of these scrubs, Keg?
I'll tell you what. There's one bet that I think is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Coop, what do you think about Ryan Priest to hit the top 10 at plus 230?
My concern on Ryan Priest, I'll have some in DFS, is that he loses more spots on pit road than what he does on the track.
Okay.
He's being funded heavily by Stuart Haas. The car is fast. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. I just worry about what his pit crew is going to do. The people out there say he has a Stuart Haas pit crew. Well, if you look at the rosters, it's the same pit crew he's had the last couple weeks, which very well could be Stuart Haas. It's not like he's going to a truck race or an Xfinity race and he's going to get Kevin Harvick's pit crew. All right. It's just not happening. So I love what he did. I think it's great for the sport. I think it's great for him. I think it's great for the team. I would not be surprised if he hits top 10, but I think the battle is going to be pit road for him.
All right.
As we transition into the Value Town, Ryan Priest starts 13th. He should be a lower owned. He might get more ownership than what he should, making Justin Haley a nice pivot off of him, who starts next to him. Haley's been very strong the entire year. So I think the two drivers at the top, one is Eric Jones, riding a lot of momentum, does decently here. Starts 25th, needs to get a 17th place finish to hit value. Very doable. So I like Eric Jones. The other driver that will probably command a lot of ownership down here is Cole Custer. He's done very well here in Xfinity. Did very well here last year in Cup. Unfortunately, on Saturday when he practiced, frickin' Cody Ware was faster than him. That's enough said for me. If Cody Ware is going to be faster for you, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't care if you're starting 30th or not and you have upside. I'm not playing you if Cody Ware is faster than you. So I'll be passing on Cole Custer. After that, I think it's a gamble. I think you're going to see a lot of drivers who are in play. And I think with so many available, they're going to have some ownership spread out. And I don't think you're going to have a lot of ownership on most of them. Possibly the next best driver, ownership-wise would be Harrison Burton. Starting 35th, has nothing but upside unless he has issues early. So I would expect him to get some. I like the Harrison Burton play. I'll have plenty of Harrison Burton. After that, I think it's a toss-up. You can go with Todd Gilliland. You can go with McDowell. You can go with A.J. Allmendinger.
What do you think about Buescher? What do you think about Buescher?
I think if you go with Buescher, you're hoping that he leads like the first 20 to 25 laps. And I think not only does he need to lead, he needs to somehow get some fastest laps out of that, which could be hard with the Hendrick cars behind him.
Yeah.
But him having clean air, he's in the best situation to get it. I think after that, you're hoping for him to finish in the top 7.
So if you put 3 Hendrick dominators in your lineup, you're basically filling the rest of your lineup out with Value Town drivers.
Most definitely, 100%, man. And, that was another topic we talked about in Discord this morning. Other people aren't happy with playing those scrubs, so to say. A lot of times the best rosters come out, ones that you don't like on paper.
Yeah.
All right. And, I have no problem. I'm going to take my shot with the scrubs this week. If they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. The thing is, I don't need them scrubs to finish, 15th. I need them to finish 25th, 23rd, 24th. And I feel comfortable that there's going to be a couple of them that do it. And
one last thing. If you were going to rank the Hendrick drivers this week from 1 to 4, what would it be? Not betting wise, from a DFS perspective.
Elliott would be my number 1. Larson, Bowman, Byron.
Okay.
Sounds good to you. What else was going on in Discord this morning, Coop? Were there some amazing conversations happening?
Amazing, Holden. Just absolutely phenomenal
Break it down for us.
conversations going back and forth,
What was
with,
your favorite
strategy.
conversation in Discord? Just because people are bored and sometimes they need to check things out.
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys talk about breakfast or drinking or workbench or just cars?
Just cars, man.
What about Pitbull? Did you talk about Pitbull?
No, we did not talk about
I feel like you
people.
were sitting on that nugget for a little while there. But
Yeah.
while you're at it, hit the like button. Start worshiping Coop because all he's doing is giving you winners this morning. Obviously, Keg is sitting there giving you winners. Thumbs up. Keg, 2 more times you're going to plug your thing. And one of those.
Not 2 more times. We're good. We're good.
No, we're not good. You can't plug it enough. You know what? Screw it. If you want to take it, I need to get 16,000 followers. I need 105 more. Follow me at Holden Radio.
That's it. Let's follow Holden.
Yeah, and mute me. You don't have to listen to me. Just follow me. I just want to get to 16K. Every time I'm at 15.9, it goes back like 10. It drives me nuts. So at Holden Radio.
Coop, do you think if your life depended on it, you could sing one line from any Pitbull song?
Oh, I have no idea any of the songs that Pitbull sung.
Keg?
So,
I love him, bro.
Honest true story, man. I was in Aruba one day, and Pitbull came. Oh, he was playing in Aruba, and I went around, asked some people, the vendors we stopped at, whatever. I said, "Are y'all going to the Pitbull concert?" And they're like, "Who the hell's Pitbull?"
God
Is that
bless
the
you.
whole story?
That's the whole story, man.
That's
Aruba is
what
beautiful.
you get.
Aruba is beautiful.
That's what you get, Holden. That's what you get with my guy, my good friend Coop. That is
Hey, Coop, I went outside this morning. It was kind of warm.
Nice.
The end. The end.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, that was the story, bro.
Yeah.
That was-
But I mean, it ties in with I don't know any Pitbull songs, man.
all right, here, I'm going to let's play a little
They don't
something.
know them
Okay?
either.
Let's play a little game here. One out of these three songs is an actual Pitbull song. Okay.
What did I start?
First one, Hotel Room Service. Second one, Suck My Cock.
Oh,
Or
no.
three,
Oh, no.
What?
No.
Day at the Beach. Pick out one of the three.
You
Which
trying
one are you picking for the real Pitbull?
Can I hear the lyrics from you?
to get me
I don't
canceled?
know the lyrics. I just looked him up. I found all his songs.
I would say number 3.
Which is what? The
I
beach.
don't know.
The beach song. Keg.
I
He goes beach. Is it Hotel Room
I
Service?
didn't hear the third. I didn't hear the third song after the second one, bro.
Okay.
Second one did.
Something about a beach. I was something I found. So Hotel Room Service, Suck My Cock, or the beach.
Okay.
Which one?
Hotel room service.
How did you know? You're very good. Good job, man.
I'm a big music guy.
Yeah. Did you just look that up on the internet?
Yes,
You did
100.
look that up on the internet. What did it do when you typed in Pitbull Suck My Cock?
I have a list of every song the man has ever written right now in front of me.
So what did it
All
come
right,
up
guys.
with?
Yes, we are off the rails. We'll go back. It was Keg's. It wasn't Keg. It was Coop's fault, though. Coop tells these stories, and it's like, what am I supposed to do with it? So we got to go down a rabbit hole to get back to where we are. Okay, Coop. I
I
think.
just like putting the pressure on you, man. Making you think off the top of your head.
Yeah. No. It's great, especially after the night I had last night. Coop, do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about that for a little bit.
What do you want to know? You know who I saw last night on stage? John Lovitz. You remember that guy?
Oh, where'd you go?
I went to I go to this comedy place, Comedy Works. I go there probably once a month. I love stand-up. It's like one of my favorite things.
John Lovitz.
You know that old dude from SNL?
Yeah, he's a legend, bro.
Half of his stand-up was awesome. The other half just sucked. The guy that opened for him was really funny, but Kevin Nealon was a lot better than John Lovitz. I'll just say that.
Kevin Nealon also.
It wasn't even close. Yeah, it wasn't even close. So,
all right.
That's what I did.
I thought your night was going to go down a different path.
Oh, no. After that, it definitely
I'm sure it did.
Oh,
I'm sure it did.
okay.
Yeah, there's definitely some workbench last night. Keg, guaranteed you didn't. Coop, workbench, yay or nay?
Nay, last night.
All right, so this is the dry workbench show, whereas Gary said he got some and AP did too. So
Nice.
I will say dry workbench show continues. Which drivers are on the dry workbench, Coop? Huh? You like that?
Yeah. So I don't have any interest in Ryan Blaney this week. He's been fast, but he's been fast all year. Something always just pops up and keeps him away. Plus, Dover's not one of his best tracks. If he beats me, he beats me. Ross Chastain, I think he'll draw some ownership. The guy's been fast this year. Personally, I just don't think he has it for HMS today. I got to, take my chances, and I'm going to fade, Chastain. Same with Kyle Busch. Busch has been strong so far this year from a perspective of, being around at the end when it comes down to crunch time. He hasn't particularly been fast. This track is all about speed. It's about speed, 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 and speed. If you look at the last 5, 6, 7 races here, drivers who finished in the top 5 have the fastest cars. And I don't know if Busch is going to be able to have that much speed. So that's why, I would be more concerned about a Chastain fading than a Busch. Bubba's starting too far up. Ricky Stenhouse, I just don't have any interest in. And I think that other driver who I forgot earlier was Austin Cindric. We talked about Austin Cindric, never mind. Stenhouse, I don't have any interest in. 2 of my bigger fades are Logano and Reddick. Reddick was just an absolute shit show yesterday when he got on the track. He got on the track, had an issue, went to pit stop, got back on the track, had another issue, went to pit stop, got back on the track, had another issue. It was just, a total disaster for the guy. And, he's had fast cars this year, but, he's had a bunch of issues. And he has to finish 12th. I don't think there's a chance in the world that he gets there based upon what we saw yesterday. And Joey Logano is the other one who, has had some good runs here. He's never won here, though, in Cup Series. So he starts 22nd, I believe. The price is too high for, where I think he needs to finish in the top 6. He wasn't happy with his car, where I talked about Harvick was happy with his car and Cindric was happy with his car. Joey was not happy whatsoever. So, I'll be fading him. And then I think the other big fade I had was Cole Custer.
Okay. All right. Coop, not only did you give us some great info, you gave us a good story or two today. I think you were great at what you did. Keg, final thoughts there, and then we'll get into the play of the day and the best bet of the day.
My final thoughts are this. If you do not have the ability to live bet and you're not a subscriber to the show, I would plant your flag and take 2 of the 3 Hendrick Motorsports cars in terms of an outright winner. That's the path that I would say you're most likely guaranteed to make some money. I guess you could take a third guy too. It'll cut into your profit, but you'll still at worst net about 2 units of profit, and you can make 8 units. So that's what I would say in terms of pre-race outright. If you can,
2 names. Who am I doing it for? Who are 2 of the guys?
Like Alex Bowman, you have to decide between Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and Alex Bowman. You could take all 3. You could take 2 out of the 3 and make a little bit more money. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. But that's the route that I would tell people to go pre-race. And other than that, I am going to throw money. If you can bet on DK, all 3 of those guys, they hit the top 5 at 7-1. Ordinarily, you would say 7-1. That's not enough value for me. These guys at this track, I think they have a very good chance to go 1, 2, 3 again, like they did last year. So at 7-1, I'll probably have a piece of that. And aside from that, man, it's probably just going to be live betting, depending on what Coop and I talk on the NASCAR Bet Show, which will immediately be after this show on the Run Pure Bets YouTube channel.
Larson and Chase Elliott to finish top 5 plus 180.
Yeah, but if you throw Bowman in there, it's 7-1.
I
And
don't even know how you get to him though, because I'm trying to parlay him. You can't even parlay him, can you?
no, you don't. There. It's called like weekly specials.
Going the specials. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Okay, very good. I got it. Thank
All
you. Sir. I'm gonna tail your weekly special here. Okay.
Normally,
Bowman, all top 5, 7-1.
right. Normally, Keg's not in the bargain basement bin looking to make bets, but this one seems like it has a very clear path to hitting.
Okay. Coop, who's the guy you got to roll out there? Who you having the most exposure to today?
I'm really interested in this betting show. I think Keg and I are in the right place. I have a nice parlay too, Kegger, that I'm going to bring up to you that I think you might like. So for me today, it's all about Hendrick Motorsports. I gave you the order that I like them in. If you're looking for a lower owned driver, I think that's Chris Bell or Brad Keselowski. When you look at the ownership, I'll probably have 60 to 80%, I think is what you asked Holden of the 400 cars.
Okay.
Bowman would probably be my lowest owned of the 4. But I don't think you need to be as highly out there on him as the others to be overweight on him. One driver I didn't mention that I'll take my shots on that I typically don't play is a Josh Bilicki. Same way with, the Burton and the Gillilands and stuff like that. He starts dead rear as long as he doesn't have issues himself. He has nothing but upside, and his price opens the door for whatever you want to do.
All right, gentleman. Wonderful to see you, Keg. Now you have to plug your show because you want people to pay for it because then they'll make some money. So let's go.
Fair enough. And it's always good to see you, my friend. Can't wait till football season again.
So
you know what? Can I take 5 minutes to wax poetic about our betting service? And
5 minutes? Sure. I'm going to kick back. Let's go.
I think that there are a ton of ways to skin a cat when you're betting on sports. And I think that the group of handicappers that we have at Run Pure Bets are, like, as a cohesive unit, are just really, really rock solid. You can make money from so many different ways. Listen, I'm not a good coin flip bettor unless I'm betting spreads in the NFL. Okay. Most of the time, if I'm betting a coin flip, I'm probably going to be on the wrong side of it. And I could admit that, right? But people like Joey and JJ and Spread that just grind these sports day in and day out, 162 games, 82 games, and they show phenomenal profit at the end of the season. It's a really specific skill set that's really hard to do. People like me, I don't make money like that. I have to live bet, be watching a game in order to see an angle, hit the button, and make money. And my units come 10, 20, 30 at a time. I might lose 7 bets in a row before that 15-1 shot comes. But with the group of handicappers that we have here, for the price, I really do think it's probably the best sports betting value service on the internet right now. So I encourage everybody to check it out. Use the promo code BETS25 off. It gets you 25% off the first week or month. If you like betting and you're into live betting and you have the time to sit and watch a show, I encourage everybody to pay the extra $10 a week to come and hang out with us and hit tickets that you can't even fathom. We almost hit a 70-1 shot last week. We've created such a culture on that show that we were devastated that we hit a plus 1,600 and not a plus 7,000. So, like, if you have the extra time, I encourage everybody to check it out. And aside from that, I hope your action runs pure today, and let's make some money.
I love it. Let's go. Anything you'd like to say before we go there, Coop?
Yeah, just make sure you pay attention to Twitter. If there's any inspection's already been done, but there's always a chance that a car can go to the back for unapproved adjustments. And with this being a track that's hard to pass on, you would want to pay attention to that, especially if it's a driver who's starting up near the front, who's going to the back. You might want to then, have less ownership of that particular driver.
Okay, very good. Gentlemen, have a great week. Have a great day today. We got a big week coming up on Run Pure. We've got the NBA playoffs. We'll still do our Major League Baseball Stanley Cup playoffs starting this week. So those of you playing NHL DFS, get ready for that. Of course, golf content crushes too. So lots going on here. Check out the bet side. Check out our side. Let's go have some fun. Helmet, get us out of here.